Hey guys, Brian Karp, sales giant, literally millionaire, mailbox money here. I made a huge mistake. We all make mistakes. This mistake is very costly. I thought I was the 1031 genius. So far with the Karp family portfolio, I've done 4 1031 exchanges. For you guys who don't know what a 1031 exchange is, it's basically when you sell a property and you roll all of the money into another property and pay no tax. For you guys who don't know who I am, I'm Brian Karp. I am the sales giant. I am the #1 real estate agent in Long Island, New York. I am a buy and hold real estate investor. I am a developer. I am obsessed with real estate. Did I say I'm a real estate agent too? Okay. So I've performed multiple 1031 exchanges, so I thought it was just business as usual. Some of the ones that I performed prior that were more complicated is I did a reverse 1031 exchange, which means I purchased a property first with my own capital, but it was being held by the 1031 company. And then I sold another property and rolled all the money into it. And then I also did a reverse with renovation, which basically means I purchased the property, then I sold this, rolled the money in, and then the extra money, the exchange company held, and they released it to my vendors while we renovated the property. So amazing, super high level, and paid 0 in tax. So we ended up selling one of our properties, which we're currently in contract today on. And this is the first house that I had doing a 1031 exchange that had financing on it. So the Karp family portfolio is free and clear, except for one apartment building that we have, and also one property that we actually don't even count in the Karp family portfolio because it's owned by my dear brother and myself. One of the properties that I probably bought almost 2 decades ago. We manage it, but we don't count it in our portfolio. We got an amazing offer from the non-for-profit and we went into contract. We put all the 1031 language inside it, and I was starting the process to do a 1031 exchange. We had about $300,000 worth of equity and a $200,000 small note on this property. So my plan was to take that 300 and move it into this little 2-bedroom cottage that I ended up finding. Perfect. That was the plan. Get a call from my 1031 exchange attorney, and he was like, and I'm like, well, what's the problem? Taking the 300, I'm dumping into the cottage. I had an extra, probably about $50,000 worth of cash that I was going to have the 1031 company release to me through a renovation to kind of fix it up, make the place look super, super clean and neat. It was going to be a better cash on cash return than we had in the original property. I thought it was a home run. I was waiting for people to have a ticket day parade for me. And then the 1031 company was like, no. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm the master of 1031 exchanges. And, it's a lesson for everyone to know, regardless how smart you think you are and how much you know and how long you've been doing something, there's always something new to be learned. And I learned it the hard way. And if I don't pivot and figure something else out, this will probably cost us about $60,000 in taxes. Not the end of the world, but who wants to pay Uncle Sam $60,000 when, in essence, the only thing I'm going to do with that cash is buy more real estate. So what they say is, and this is the analogy he gave me, and I'm going to try to repaint it. I consider myself a good storyteller, so hopefully I'll be able to do it justice. But basically what happens is if you have equity and debt on the first property and you're doing an exchange, you have to bring your equity and debt with you. So basically the analogy he gave me, and I liked it, it's like that I'm going on vacation, right? And I have my luggage, right? This piece of luggage is my equity, which is 300,000. This piece of luggage is my debt. So if you are going to exchange, right, and move the money, you have to bring your equity and debt. So now I'm like, what do? I have somewhere to move the equity to, but I don't, have any debt lined up. And on top of that, this property that I'm buying, there's nothing to do with the debt. So I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? And then with the 1031 exchange, you have a shot clock, right? And it's clicking and ticking and ticking and ticking and ticking and ticking. So some of the things I could do is when I say you bring your equity and debt with you, I don't have to, yes, I have to replace the debt, but it doesn't have to be with debt. I could bring outside funds in, right? So I could bring $200,000 worth of my capital in, which I haven't thought about doing. The problem is this little cottage, I would literally have to rip the head off and dormer it to kind of, I don't want to say waste, but spend $200,000. And do I really want to do that? So I made this video just to tell you guys where I'm at. The cool thing is you can bring, like I could bring one of my equity line of credits, and use that $200,000 to be my luggage. And then I could pay it off at any time. So I could do that. But it's like, this house doesn't need $200,000 worth of money. I'm literally just spending it for the sake of spending it. And then the exchange attorneys I use, well, why don't you grab another property? But it's really not enough. $300,000 worth of equity is really not enough to grab two. And then I would have to grab outside financing, and the rates are super, super high right now. So the lesson to be learned is manyfold. Just because you've done something for a long time, just because you think you have all the answers, there's always something to be learned. I'll never make this mistake. And I guess the only way to learn it is kind of, do it, right? I'm sure I'll figure something out. My dad called me MacGyver when I was a kid, so I am very, very creative with real estate, money, and finances. If you guys like this video, hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, write a comment. If you don't like it, that's fine. Hit the thumbs down. Please, the only way we're gonna grow this channel, and we are growing like rocket fuel, is if you guys share this and tell your friends about it. I will keep you posted with what happens with this 1031 exchange, but it's gonna probably cost us $60,000 if I don't find somewhere to move the money to. All right, I'm your boy, I'm a sales giant. See you next time.